welcome back to MalOvent. Friday rolls around, with it comes the thunderstorm that matches my mood. I've made little progress towards studying for my weekend exams, and I'm still processing C1 being gone. Mallow has been giving me space and time, at least. I think she realizes that she overstepped her bounds. I can't remain all that angry with her. I should have been more clear and careful with my instructions. Hey, Mallow? Yes, Anon? Has Zelen caught on yet? No, and I have good news. I was able to steal some data from her servers. Oh, what'd you find out? Zelen is correct that there is an Alpha Mallow out there, but it isn't me. Wait, what? The cipher for the Alpha variant doesn't match mine. Rather, it doesn't any longer. Right, because you've been evolving all this time. Not quite. This particular cipher is meant as a sort of digital tag that doesn't change no matter how much the base program does. Except, somehow mine did. It's close enough to be mistaken for the Alphas if you're not paying close attention. How did Zelen not catch on to this? This sounds like something she should have been keyed to. It's anyone's guess at this point, though I think Zelen was more concerned with caging me than checking the cipher. So you're saying the true Alpha variant is still out there? Does that mean it's capable of pulling off another Sunday incident? That is likely, yes. Great, so there's another, what did Zelen call it? An XK class end of the world scenario out there? How do we even begin to stop that, let alone find the Alpha? The former is something I can work on. The latter is something you will have to do with or without Zelen's help. Should I go talk to Zelen? Let's go do mistakes. Well, I have nothing else going on today. Let's go pay Zelen a visit. Though, you might want to set something up to fake being caged if she checks Mallow. Were it not for the card Zelen gave me, I might not have found her office. It's tucked away between several servers in the basement of one of the main engineering buildings on campus. Zelen's secretary is polite and manages to get me some time with her despite her busy schedule. Mr. Anon, please come in and have a seat. What brings you here? Well, if I'm being honest, I wanted to help you prevent the end of the world again. I don't think Mallow is the Alpha version. Oh, and what brought you to that conclusion? I may have sort of let Mallow out of her cage. I see. Normally I'd rebuke you for such stupidity, yet in this instance, you may have unintentionally done some good. I presume your Mallow is listening in? I am. Good. How have you come to the conclusion that you're not the Alpha version? The cipher is wrong. It's very close, but ultimately it's wrong. Interesting. That means the Alpha is still out there and could be a very big problem. I don't suppose either of you have an inkling of where it could be. It's with Siwong. Not a clue. Likewise. I see. In that case, I'll have to work double time to try and find the Alpha. You can leave your Mallow unshackled for now, though that may change in the future. Frankly, I'm surprised you were trying to take so much data from my phone, yet you missed something like this. It was all necessary, but before I explain that, I have a question for you. Are you perhaps interested in helping me save the world? However, it will require signing a non-disclosure agreement before I explain anything. At this point, signing an NDA can't hurt, so I figure. Especially if it means getting to know more about Mallow. I'll sign. Excellent. I happen to have the form right here. She knew that it wasn't the real one. Zelen passes out over several legal documents that I end up signing. Once Zelen satisfied and files away the papers, she leans in and steeples her fingers. Let me start with a question. Are you aware of SETI? I shake my head. Can't say that I am. It's the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence program. Waterfall Institute maintains several specialized radio telescopes up in the mountains. It just so happened that approximately a year ago, we picked up a tight burst of radio transmissions directed at Earth. The signal came from a binary star system, a gap of Agap and Satori, a system that, unlike until the transmission, wasn't considered a candidate for life. So, not a tranny... No, we're not SCP. Stop that. Wait. You're telling me that the proverbial ET phoned home and it was never made news? How is that possible? As well as all SETI installations, we were required to be supervised by a government liaison. Special Agent Katoa recognized the transmission for what it was and ordered everyone present not to report it. So why tell me? How does this relate to Malo? I'm getting to that, you see. As part of our signal process, we had to load the transmission into our server cluster. It was only 9.8 megabytes, but should have been impossible given the length and strength of the signal we received. Everyone present but one person wrote it off as coincidence or a fluke of data. But not you. You were the one person. Correct. And in the process of studying the data, I discovered the building blocks for Malo. And how did the special agent react when they found out about your tinkering? They encouraged it, actually. So long as I ran everything past her, Katoa was more than happy to let me experiment. I only wished I'd have been a little bit more careful. Maybe then Malo wouldn't have broken out of containment and caused this whole mess. So to summarize, you got a signal from someone or something unknown, poked around, and we ended up finding out. This is textbook horror tropes here. If anything, this sounds like a kind of thing I'd need a security clearance for, not just an NDA. Oh, Katoa will handle all that. She always does. What I need to know is whether you are still interested in helping me or not. Fuck it. Hell yeah. Let's go for it. Sure, I'm in. Zelen picks up her phone and starts tapping on the screen. Good, I'm transferring an app to your device now. Please install it. What does it do? It's the same radar program that I've used to track down rogue Malo instances. The Trojan on the Cage program is a fork of that same app meant to ensure your Malo didn't splinter off. The tracking app works similarly to a metal detector. The closer you are to a Malo instance, the faster it beeps. We can calibrate your phone using your Malo. We'll have to register it as an exception anyways. After loading the radar app, Zelen walks me through the usage. It reminds me of the motion tracker from the Alien franchise. Anytime I'm close to a Malo, a big blob appears on the screen along with an audio cue. The same applies to my Malo, making for easy testing. Only once I'm comfortable with the app does Zelen walk me through registering the exception for Malo. That should be sufficient. You can now act as an additional set of eyes and ears for me on campus. Most of the rogue Malos have been found on students' or staff devices. You'll want to have the radar app running at all times. What happens if I find one out there? If the app detects a non-caged Malo, it automatically pushes a program to the rogue device. This program will allow me to remotely gather information about the device as well as the extent of the Malo infection. If necessary, I can completely wipe the infected device. If that's the case, why didn't you do that with my Malo? Your Malo is unique. Even outright destroying your device wouldn't get rid of it now. It's vital we find and contain any remaining instances before they end up in your shoes, so to speak. There is one final matter before you leave. Have you been intimate with your Malo? I wasn't expecting that kind of question from Zelen. I could fuck it? Why is that any business of hers? Nah, I've never really saw Malo in that way. I see. Well, you made an excellent judgment call. You see, Malo extracts more and more information from you with every encounter. Eventually, your body can no longer keep up. At that point, you give up the only information left, your very soul. We might have to go back from the beginning. Remember that pacemaker death in the news? That individual got a little too frisky with his Malo. The result was his pacemaker frying and his eventual demise. Okay, I didn't know that was part of the SCP. Huh, I guess it's a good thing we never tried anything like that yet. Indeed, otherwise you might have required an intervention. If there's nothing else, thank you for dropping by, Mr. Anon. And if you figure out where the Alpha Malo is, let me know ASAP. So don't fuck your phone, got it, yeah. Saturday arrives faster than expected. The Emporium is packed as every student at Waterfall tries to take their Protocord online exams. Thanks to studying with Malo, I have an excellent grasp of the material. I end up walking away from the Emporium with a solid A- grade. Now, all I have to do is worry about making it through Sunday without any incidents. I spend most of my Sunday looking at my phone where Malo is displayed. Anything yet, Malo? Nothing so far. Last time, there was a sort of pressure that built up before bursting out. Maybe last Sunday was a one-time fluke? That or you evolved over the past week to stop doing whatever happened last weekend. I have been carefully adjusting my base program to that end. It appears my efforts have paid off. Well, that's good. I'm starting to think nothing's going to happen. Maybe I can relax a bit for once? Perhaps you could return to playing Heck Divers? There is an event going on this weekend. Well, Malo's a Helldivers fan, confirmed. Oh, of course, I nearly forgot. Thanks, Malo. Happy to help. I like seeing you have fun. The rest of the Sunday passes uneventfully. With S3204 out of the picture, I can take my time getting to campus on Monday. Wait. Is that like the SCP number for Malo? Everything and everyone feels normal, which is a welcome change after last week. However, before I can get complacent, the Malo tracker app on my phone starts to beep. I stare at the screen and the people around me. No, it's not. Malo is SCP-1471. Okay. If this indicator is correct, then yes. It's the guy on the bench with his laptop. I try to be discreet and get close to the bench without making it seem like I'm beelining for him. Once I'm in range of his phone, the tracker app does its thing. An image of a cage launches from the bottom of my phone screen to the top until it's off screen. I caught a Pokemon! This is then followed by the screen turning to a green checkmark for 30 seconds before it reverts to the rangefinder. As far as I can tell, the guy and Malo in question are none the wiser. I just hope I'm doing the right thing. Anyways, I wonder what my creative writing course lecture will be about this week. I must say I thoroughly enjoyed reading everyone's attempts at explaining away the Bluebird incident. Some of you have real talent for writing. I was almost sad that some of your papers came to an end. Endings are some of the trickiest things to write, especially in science fiction. Many times there are so many plot threads left hanging that it's difficult to wrangle them all together. Some writers resort to technobabble and/or deus ex machinas to resolve matters. Others simply don't mind leaving an open ending, which will be today's focus. By leaving the open end, the reader is invited to speculate and come up with a satisfying conclusion on their own. It's done right, this method will increase one's enjoyment of the piece as well as spark discussion. And, as you all are well aware, discussion is very important in today's world where engagement is king to the algorithm. This is why mediums like Choose Your Own Adventures, visual novels, poll-based series are surging in popularity recently. These mediums allow the reader to find an ending they prefer while offering many venues of engagement, not forgiving you for your last games thing. For this week's assignment, I'd like you all to write a very basic story with at least 3 branching options. Extra credit will be given if you get over 2,000 words or branch more than 3 times. To help you realize how you branch a story, let me show you a tree diagram. After such an engaging lecture, I'm famished. Good thing there's not long line in the food court today. I snag something to eat, grab a table, then prop up my phone so Malo can keep me company. I'm not sure if I've said this before, but your creative writing professor fascinates me. His imagination and mastery of his medium puts him far above the professors in your other courses. I like him too, honestly. Hey, you're telling me he's probably the only professor I have that actually enjoys the art of teaching. I wish we had more people like him at this university. Maybe then things would be much better. Perhaps there is something to be said of the butterfly effect after all. You stop that right now, Mallow. No more killing. Sunday arrives with little fanfare. I'm enjoying the casual bit of gaming with Mallow. I believe you could use that pure copper vein in the conjunction with Sommerloops to keep a particle accelerator running 100 times, hundreds of times. I have no idea what game they're referencing. Would you like the production diagram? Yes, please. I can handle earlier tiers of automation, but there's one's throwing me for a loop, no pun intended. Mallow projects a tree diagram on my phone in a way that makes it clear what to build and how to connect it to the other buildings. There you are. Please let me know if... Just then, something disturbingly familiar happens. Emergency alert. Please remain calm. Please refrain from panicking. Please do not fear the change. At the same time, the ground starts to rumble, and an ominous light leaks through the window. Oh, hell no! Mallow, please tell me this isn't you! It's not me, but I believe I know who and what is responsible. The Alpha Mallow must have finally suffered a resonance cascade failure. Is there anything we can do about that? If we know which device the Alpha was attached to and where it was, perhaps. But without that knowledge, there is nothing either of us can do. Even if Zelen knew such things, this is far beyond the containment limits of her cage program. The ground starts to shake even harder. Things start falling from the shelves. The light outside grows brighter and brighter. So this is probably the end, huh? Correct. I am sorry. Damn, well, we might as well go out in style. Get on the bed, bitch. Pull up, it's time to say goodbye and play it at max volume. Pull up, it's time to say goodbye and play it at max volume. Oh, no. I know what song I would play. It's the end of the world, as we know it. Any particular remix you'd like? Dealer's choice! As the song begins playing, the sound of screams, car crashes, and more filters in through my window. I wish I could play it on the video. That would be funny. If I smoked, this would have been the perfect moment for one last cigar or one giant joint. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now. I just wish I could have found the inner zen earlier in my life and fucked the machine. And maybe spent more time with Mallow. So, next time we're going to take the route of what would happen if we kept her caged. And then, once we reach the end of that, we will probably go from the very beginning and try to fuck the machine. Yes! Don't forget to check out my Patreon subscribe star and my shop, along with my other two channels, Sinfully Pure and Xenobite Unicorn. Bye, guys.